there again, folks. Welcome back to Remember11, The Age of Infinity, episode 100. It's been a while since I've done a video, but it's episode 100 now. I have reached 100 episodes in a third series now. Unsurprisingly, it's another visual novel, so we are getting close to the end of this one, though. Don't think we're going to be getting to the end of this one today, but who knows? I doubt it. So let's get started. At the end of the last one, or in the last one, Satoru was still going through the camera footage of Sphia and seeing what all his body was doing while he was not there. Sounds like a very strange quote, but yeah, we all learned some interesting stuff. So let's get on with it. There are many mysteries still remaining, but for now, that summarize everything I'd gathered. How did I almost drown in the bathtub? It was my body's fault. My body took those sleeping pills on its own volition and entered the bathroom. Nobody actually plunged my unconscious body into the bathtub. Satoru turned out to be responsible for a door slam I heard, but she was unrelated to the incident. She never took a single step into the bathroom. Same goes for everyone else. The time in question, only my body was in the room. If I had to accuse someone of trying to drown me, then the only candidate was myself. Okay. Next, who killed Inamoto? No need to repeat this ad nauseum. Every particular in the massacre was recorded on video. It was my body. Lastly, why did my body ingest the DMT and MAL inhibitor? No need to explain this either. My body was the culprit once again. Other people had absolutely nothing to do with it. Those were the 3 points I proved anew. Proved isn't quite the correct word. I should probably say that I confirmed my speculations. My body was responsible for everything. In a way, I had almost expected it. There were no cameras set on the rooftop, so I couldn't find anything out about the incident on the clock tower. Same could be said about the wound on my left arm. No data was saved during that time. My other findings were more than enough. From the information I unearthed, I found the answer. So to summarize, the criminal out to kill me is... Are we Phoenix right now? Well, I'm going to use the deduction abilities of that I would use during Phoenix, right? Well, he's definitely wanting us to think that it's Kokoro. So Kokoro would almost be the obvious one, which would mean don't go with the obvious one. Though we did play as Kokoro, and we know the events that happened with her. Now, she didn't have any ill intentions. So I'm going to go with neither. It's going to be because I'm thinking there's a third. I've been thinking it for quite a while that there's a third person involved in this, possibly a baby. So that's what I'm going to go with. Neither. It's neither of us. Of course, it wasn't Utsumi either. Nor Hattori, nor Yuni, nor even Inamoto. It was someone else, another unknown personality at Sphia. Traces of their passage exist, at least. Now let's follow the road of my reasoning. First, judging from the records, it goes without saying that Utsumi, Hattori, Yuni, and Inamoto are all unrelated to the events. Next is Kokoro, but I'll rule her out of the suspects list. Why? Because she has a strong alibi. Especially in the case of Inamoto's murder occurring on the 14th. The times simply don't add up. The times, yes, the times. There's something strange about the time displayed on the pictures. By strange, I mean that generally speaking, that kind of thing happening at that time is ridiculous. Strange times I'm referring to are January 14th. Oh crap, I'm supposed to deduct this? Oh crap. can't remember the times from the last episode. I recorded that like a while ago. 4 or 5 days ago, I think. Oh crap. I'm going to assume that he's talking about probably the first one, though. Because he's talking about how, crap, we really are being Phoenix right here. I like that. Probably referring to the part where she ran out. Good grief. I've got a problem with my tongue right now. I have a cracked tooth that's been rubbing against my tongue for the last 3 or 4 days, and it's getting my tongue really sore, so probably going to stutter more than normal. Also, my nose is itching bad, my sinuses. Just an amalgamation of things. Yeah, probably talking about how she ran away from him at the beginning, and she ran outside and climbed back in. Blah blah blah. He did see all that in the camera, so that would be a reason to rule her out, I guess. Because if she was going to kick his butt all crazy and maniacally at one point, why would she run away, I guess, and be all scared and crap at another point, I guess is what he's trying to get at. So yeah, 6:11 to 17 p.m. The former is the time my body possessed by Kokoro was attacked by Inamoto in the storehouse. On the other hand, the latter is the time I, who had returned to my original body due to a transfer, discovered Inamoto's corpse. Of course, these aren't the only times that happen to bother me. There are plenty of other spots, but it's not worth listing them all. Let's give another example. Let's go back to January 11th. The following times are also strange. Oh my gosh, this is a quiz. I think I see why good luck was wished upon me. Crap, what happened on the first day? I'm honestly having trouble remembering. Didn't make any comment about how Kokoro seemed really frightened about Hattori. I may have to make a guess on this one. I don't like doing that. Was that when he when Kokoro took the sleeping pills and did the whole shower thing? That did happen kind of early, I think. Yeah. 9:08, 10:24 p.m. 9:08 is when the second transfer occurred, returning my consciousness to Sophia. To be more accurate, it's Sophia that returned to Aosagi Islands from Mount Akakura. 10:24 is instead the time of the following transfer. Incidentally, these two instances... Isn't there something strange about them? Oh, did I screw up? Let's pick, for example, the interval between 6:11 p.m. and 7:17 p.m. on the 14th. An interval of 66 minutes. I was at the shelter cabin then, anxious about my body being controlled by Kokoro. I was worried sick about her, wondering if she'd managed to run away from Inamoto. See, it's strange. Weird even. Wasn't I only allowed to stay at the shelter cabin for 33 minutes? Of course, the same goes for Kokoro. She could only stay at the Sophia for 33 minutes. Hmm. In spite of that, the cameras recorded my body moving without my consciousness for a good 66 minutes, huh? Certainly not a problem with the time counter on screen. The records clearly are 66 minutes long. The major point here is the statement Kokoro can only stay at Sphia for 33 minutes is irrefutable. We measured it several times, so I have no doubts about this. Which means, since Kokoro was already at Sphia at 6:11, her consciousness separated from my body 33 minutes after at 6:44 at the latest. Then from 6:44 to 7:17. Who the hell was controlling my body? Let's examine the records once again. 6:44 on the 14th is shown to be the moment Inamoto was swinging the knife, aiming at my throat. Right after, Hattori rammed straight into Inamoto, causing him to drop the knife. Which means that Inamoto's murder, as well as the overblown damage to his body, took place sometime between 6:44 and 7:17. The personality in control of my body during this time gap is the culprit. So with that, Fukawa Kokoro has a reasonable alibi. She can only be at Sphia for 33 minutes. And Inamoto died after her 33 minutes. Therefore, it's impossible for Kokoro to be the criminal. Fukawa Kokoro is innocent. Well then, I guess it's time to draw a conclusion. I stated before that there was another unknown personality at Sphia. Needless to say, that's the personality controlling my body during these time gaps. Who is that? The answer is a separate personality born within myself. I'd always thought that Kokoro and I were the only ones controlling my body. That doesn't seem to be the case. There's someone else within me, someone I don't know. My memory still hasn't returned. If we assume the cause is mental, it means something's wrong with my mind. Just like Atsumi said, maybe I really do suffer from DID. And while suffering from DID, I was dragged into the transference phenomenon. Thus I misunderstood. But we're still basing this on the conclusion that it's neither of them. Unless he's considering, Satoru as, another personality is not himself. Which I guess would be a way to consider it. Yeah, I guess that would be a strange way to consider it. But I was wrong. I am the victim and also the assailant. Unbeknownst to me, because of a mental disorder completely unrelated to the transference phenomena, I had created another personality within myself. That other personality must have been the culprit. He schemed to injure my body and grotesquely killed Inamoto. The records tell me everything. It's sad, but I have to face up to it. I won't waver anymore. I won't let myself be restrained by feelings and obligations any longer. I closed my eyes, took a heavy breath, and left that musty room. Third area. So he's pretty dead set that he's got DID, that he is a personality within another. Whoa. He's saying he's a personality within himself. I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing to wrap your mind around, I guess. Maybe that's why it was hard for him to come to that decision, but then I don't really think it is. I don't think that's the case, though. I really don't. It's a possibility, of course. Is that thunder? That was thunder. Our car outside. Oh, that's thunder. That's definitely thunder. Yeah, this won't be a very long episode. We won't be ending it here. I don't want the episode cutting off and power flicker. I still had over 30 minutes left, but I couldn't afford to relax. I didn't know what was going to happen, so I snapped into action. Returning to my room at once, I took my coat from the closet and quickly left. The sky was still dark. The clear midwinter sky had a countless number of stars scattered across it. The moon was hanging low in its last phase in the south-southeast direction. is missing more of its light now, drawing a mere semicircle as if torn in two. A half moon, the one that's there, yet the one that isn't. I pushed forward into the darkness, relying only on the light of the moon and the stars. I was standing by the front gate. On the left was a computer terminal with a lock controlled by a card reader. I took my ID card from my pocket and slid it through the slot. Or at least I tried to slide it. However, the card wouldn't go in. Looking closely, I saw that the card slot had frozen over.
なんでこんな時に限って
There hadn't been any snowfall at Aosagi Island over the past few hours. But what about Mount Akakura? From the magazine article, I knew that Mount Akakura was hit by a blizzard on the 15th. And it wasn't as if Sophia had always been stuck at Aosagi Island. Sophia had been exposed to a snowstorm through the space-time transfer. It's likely that snow had gotten into the reader then and had frozen over from the cold afterward. Even here at Aosagi Island, the weather was fine, but it didn't change the fact that the temperature was still low. On top of that, it was right before dawn, the coldest part of the day. What? Warm my numb fingers with my breath. I turned my coat collar up, shrugged in my neck, and shuffled my feet. My smoke-like breath stayed adrift in the cold air. Angrily tried to insert the card again. I tried it over and over, hoping that the heat from the friction would melt the ice. Couldn't just give up here. Nothing would begin if I didn't get out of Sophia's circle. No matter what happened, I had to leave the gate before the next transfer. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to save everyone in the shelter cabin.
くそー頼む刺さってくれ
In one last effort, I shoved the card into the slot with all my might. Don't break it.
刺さった
Okay, good. I was afraid he was gonna break it. Only a tip managed to slip in. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of another scene. There was no need for hesitation. Using all my body weight, I forced the card to slide through. Ooh, dramatic opening of a door.
ヒヤヒヤさせやがって
That reminds me of for whatever reason, that reminds me of the scene in Back to the Future where Marty's like, "Come on, come on, come on, dum." Of course, his headphones didn't fly off, but the other part was pretty accurate where he hit the steering wheel with his hand, and suddenly the DeLorean cranked up, allowing him to make it to 1985. Yeah, 1985. I remember that right. That reminded me of that scene. Left and right doors of the gate opened with a thunderous roar. I need a haircut bad. I'm gonna get one within the next month or two, I'm sure. I don't intend to let my hair grow out that long. It just does. I tried to pull out the card and leave, but it wouldn't move. The card was stuck. It wouldn't come out. If I didn't remove it, the gate would never close. I could use my entire body weight to force it in, but not for pulling it out. My fingertips were slippery from the numbing cold, so I couldn't even grip the card properly. And time was cruelly passing by.
諦めるか
No matter how hard I try, what won't come out, so there's no helping it. Just getting the gate open was good enough. I abandoned the ID card and stepped into the outside world. Coastline appeared. Only the sound of the waves silently drifted through the air. Couldn't hear anything besides that. It was an extremely quiet night. There were 10 minutes left until the next transfer. Had nothing to do but to focus and keep waiting, to eagerly wait for that time to come. Distance from here to Sophia's front gate wasn't very far. Close enough that it'd only take a minute to get there if I ran at full speed. Really? Wow. I can still clearly see the tall circular wall around the building from here. The moon's light reflected dimly off the wall surface. It had a dignified shine in the darkness. I couldn't imagine something that big being able to transfer. It looked so sturdy, almost impossible to move or vanish. I even felt like it was stubbornly refused to move no matter what.
転移なんて起こるのか。
After reaching this point, uncertainty began to cross my mind. Even so, there was nothing I could do but wait. 7 minutes to go before the next transfer. Thought I was keeping my cool, but you know what? The body doesn't lie about these things. As time passed, intervals between my heartbeats became shorter. Couldn't feel the cold anymore. My palms were sweating, even though I was only standing. I felt like I was choking from the pressure. If I messed this up, there would be no second chances. Kokoro, Yomogi, and Lin would be caught in an avalanche and die. My heart was beating like crazy. Along with the excitement, I felt a great feeling of exhilaration from the bottom of my chest. "5 minutes to go. The passage of time felt exceedingly slow. It was so frustrating I couldn't stand still. Oh, no. So exciting that my sinuses want to expel themselves. Walked aimlessly along the sandy beach as the waves lapped at its edge. A gust of wind blew past me. What does the gust of wind mean? Perhaps it's a sign of the transfer happening? Gonna find out in the next episode, which may be the conclusion of the, well, not the conclusion of the series, but maybe to Satoru's end. And yeah, I guess we'll go from there when we get there. I do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.